Butcher,
Here.
Mr. here. We have a quorum. Proof of notice was on the 12th, which was Saturday. Approval of previous minutes. Did all of y'all get an opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
May I have a second? I'm still. I make a motion to approve the minutes.
My second.
Been properly second by Richard. Any questions? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So moved. Financial report. Joe, second.
Okay.
Do you have any
Yes.
clarification before we just begin?
On the financial report, I would say, if you look at page, all right, if you look at page 1, 2, and 3, you would see that the reserve is already included on the budget, which before it wasn't. They finally fixed part of the problem. You have your reserve. Now, next month, when you look at page 5, sorry, page 6, where it says reserve contribution. As you can see, you still have January, February, March, April with 0, 0, 0, 0, and then in July you have the reserve for 1,417. For next month, that will only be filled in the way it should be. So we have been taking out the reserve. The problem was that it was coded differently on the system, and that's why it wasn't coming out. But we have been taking out the reserve every month. So that once that issue is corrected, as of next month, you're going to have every month whatever money is been taken out of the reserve. And that's why you see it only now on the page
Why
where it
does it
says,
take so long to correct something? Don't you just out of bookkeeper, don't you just go to the computer and say, make this work this way?
I agree with you. What happens is that for some reason, no one brought it before. I was the one that brought it up when I reviewed your financial statement. And they were trying to correct it. They couldn't figure out why it wasn't coming up the way it should be coming up. So finally they realized that it was marked that it was the system when they coded it wrong, and that's why it wasn't coming up. Okay? But as of next month, you're gonna have the way it should be every month, whatever we have taken. That's what it is. Those papers, I put out there for you. That's where you can take home. That's your home.
I understand.
Okay. Now you may proceed with the budget. I mean with the financial.
Make a motion to accept the financial report as it is, and next month it'll be fixed, right?
Yes.
Very second. Who's good? Richard made a motion to accept the financial report, been seconded by Joe. Is there any questions?
No. Motion approved.
All of those in favor say aye.
Sorry, I jumped again.
We are going to the manager report.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
How come there are squares living in my mother's old house?
Squares? No, they're
Yeah.
squatters. My mistake.
The squares.
That was a,
Seven.
that's not a typo.
Squares are living in the house.
Yeah, well, I realized that afterwards, but I can really fix it. Anyway, at the moment, we're actually, you need a pen or something?
Yeah, I got one again.
Okay. We already have closed 8 more violations with regards to the pool. We haven't had any problems whatsoever. I've been asking the residents who are using the pool, and they're very happy with the condition of the water. Not a lot of chlorine, not a lot of that. Today, not today, the other day, I got the monthly report from Top Shop Irrigation. It came normal. So I asked him to please, anything out of the ordinary, to let me know because of all the construction work that's going around with AT&T and the fiber optic. I finally received the attorney report. I received it last week. Right now, he has 60 cases that he's working on. And I've been reading some of the cases, and basically he's requesting some of those cases have violations, fine violations. So he just requesting if all the paperwork was sent properly to the owners. But in this case, we need to at least check, because I remember we did the audit when we changed to correct the violations, the amount of money that we were charging the residents. So once that's done, he will be getting a report from me to see if we can proceed with some of those cases, or we just close it with a penalty. But right now, he's got 60 cases open. All right, so when it comes to the projects, playground, we'll finally got a company. We call, what is it? What's the name of it?
Big Red?
Yes, we called him up. He was supposed to confirm with us with an email when he will start doing the work. He was there, he was out of the office, so we were never able to confirm, because I asked him to send me an email so we know when the work will begin. His excuse is that he's very busy at the moment. He's running a little bit behind schedule, but he told me we were ready and that we wanted to proceed as quickly as possible with that first playground.
Gate is open.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
open.
like nobody else there.
No.
Somebody walking and somebody happening in that pool. In that.
No,
That's the only reason
the gate is open at the moment.
It's
because of the-
wide open. No, unless for folks to come to meet them.
Right, that's why we leave it open.
Is there anything important in here? Let's go to another thing.
All right, so basically that's my report. Your mom's house has squares in it.
We can see.
So we're gonna buy 2 new locks tomorrow for the 2 properties, so we can lock them up. Henry is on vacation.
gates.
Yeah. Okay, when it comes to the gate, we already got the survey, as you already know. And today we actually met with the contractor who's gonna provide us a quote with, like the way we wanted it, with apples, and compare it to see which of the 2 systems. We have 2 systems right now. One is the barcode reader, which it's a little machine that goes on the sidewalk and it reads. You put a little barcode on the right side of the vehicle and the reader in the back, not in the back seat, on the window on the back, and then it reads it. And then there is another one that is a bigger bar, and they call it the Sun Pass, which works on the same principle as the Sun Pass. He needs to explain to us which of the 2 is better, because when we went over to the west side, we're going to have an issue with space. You need to have a minimum of 11 feet per lane. And over there, and that machine takes about, I would say about 4 feet by 2 cement bays, and the machine itself is about this long and this long. So we might not be able to fit the two readers there, because you're going to have 2 lanes coming in and 2 lanes coming out. So we're not going to be able, maybe if you come in from the inside lane, which is the visitors today, the barcode may not read it if you have another vehicle coming. And if the vehicle opens the gate, that gate will stay down, because you're going to have 2 arms. The way it's going to work is, once you come in, the barcode will read it, will open one set of gates and will close them. And then once they're closed, then the second set of gates will open for you to come into the community. So he's going to work with us to see which of the 2 systems will be the one perfect, at least for the west side. For outside, we're not going to have an issue, because we're going to have a man gated with a person there, so we're not going to have a problem. I already spoke with the west, and they'll basically, it's whatever you guys decide, you guys do. I also called their attorney, because you guys had a contract that you wrote back in 12 or 13. It was an agreement between the west, the east, and the west on who's responsible for what as we start working on the gates. They wanted me to send it to their attorney. I sent it to them last week. I wrote to the attorney today, or actually email just sitting there because our internet has been off and on all day today. So once I get, I need an answer actually by Monday. Monday it's the west side meeting. So I need an answer by that day because we need to decide so we can move on. And that's pretty much it. Any
In
questions?
reference to the quotes, how soon do you like that?
Well, the guy that came in today, he's gonna try to have it for us probably by not, today is Tuesday, by Thursday.
Okay, so by then, how many quotes you will have?
We should have 2 for sure,
Okay.
okay? Just like the guy from the park, he just gonna call on that.
Okay. We need to set up a meeting, next week, probably next week, Wednesday, to decide what company we're going to.
Right.
Because we need to bring in that project every time it rains.
Yeah, those games.
That is because the motors are down. So we need to decide on that
Right.
next week, what company we're going.
Yeah, because he can actually start working on this side first.
Once we get the quotes, send it to us.
We'll give you, no, definitely, once I get, actually, I'm gonna try to get 3, which is what I'm supposed to do, get the 3 quotes, and again, this is apple with apple, this is not apple and pear.
How y'all look, next Wednesday, 8 o'clock? Wednesday, 8 o'clock, next Wednesday.
What I'll do is, once I get,
Before, that's really before the holiday. We'll get that over there, get that out there, other way before the holiday. Like, that'll give the company time to prepare for the following week.
once I get the 3 quotes, I'll email. Did you guys receive your financial statement? The monthly financial? You didn't
No, I
receive
didn't
it?
get it. I didn't get it.
All right, so I need to check, if something is
You
definitely
get it?
wrong. So I send it to all, I send it to all the members.
I need to check it out. No, I didn't get anything.
You didn't get anything? All right,
Here,
I gotta check
Look
my,
right here, so it's said right on there.
I got it.
Huh?
Email that drop, I know you need to read, so.
Yeah.
You didn't get it, we do it.
Okay, I gotta check the email because I sent it to you guys and, if you didn't get it, something is wrong because I put you guys as a group. So whenever I send Marbella East, whatever I put in there goes out as a group, so everyone should receive it, including Chris. So I gotta check that, and what I'll do is I'll resend it to you guys again. Any more questions?
Second page,
Second page.
it's the report, back to it or what?
The manager report?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you want me to read it? Oh, okay, no, Richard did that.
No, I can start reading, we can read, I don't need him to read. If there's anything important, you tell us about it.
When Richard said what he said, that's fine. That's Richard.
That's Richard's opinion.
And point of view, that's fine, but we need to just proceed.
Okay.
You don't have to verbatimly read this, but you can just explain each one.
Okay, fence back here. Unfortunately, the junior, that asphalt company that was trying to close the permit, he couldn't do it. So I called already 2 companies and they're gonna come over. They're gonna give us a quote because we're probably gonna have to remove the whole thing because they're gonna have to get a new permit.
That's what I've been saying for months.
Okay,
Just take the fence out, call up and close the permit with no fence in there, and then call the fence company and have them come put the fence back in.
okay. That's it.
This is,
Can we put you in the payroll for that?
huh?
Go ahead.
You have it?
Now, the big wall on 82nd Court. I already got 2 guys coming. I went over there a couple of days ago. The wall's cracked on both ends.
I wrote it, everybody got it.
And I don't know whether we're gonna can we just cut those 2 sides and join them properly the way it should be done, or maybe the whole wall needs to come down. I'm hoping that they'll be able to cut it and join it properly the way it should be.
Let's have that perspective, clearly, and then after the inspection, we can make a decision. I
Okay.
think I don't know the structure of it.
Right, I don't know much about the structure either, so it's something that we need to find out first. All right, the sidewalk around here with the sculptures so sidewalk is in really bad condition, so I had a guy that came over, who's gonna give us a quote. We might have to replace some sections completely, and others we might be able to repair it. But he's gonna give us a quote on that. Now, the little dip or hole that we have there right next to the statues, that the grass is always dead, and Neto suggested to fill it in with topsoil, good soil, and level it out completely, and put grass on it, so you're gonna have someone else coming to give me a quote of that, to avoid that water for standing there.
Matter of fact, I was a resident that recommended that.
Okay? And last but not least, we have two houses that they broke into. They broke the lock on the door, so I'm gonna buy 2 new locks to just replace our lock and lock those doors again. We have squatters.
Can't you call that company that owns my mother's house and have them come out?
I can try calling them, but they'll take forever. What I like, go ahead.
No?
That's the name of the report.
Did we foreclose?
No, but it's under the court, they have the court have to force the issue. The court
Uh-huh.
have to do that, force that document.
What's the thing with it? We're supposed to have a hearing about it.
Hmm?
Did they have a hearing?
Something coming up is, I think it takes 45 to 60 days.
I could find out on the report that I got from
You
the attorney.
can talk to them, yeah.
I can find
And
out.
then send a report to them.
Yeah, I'll find out. It's 60 pages.
These banks aren't fair to the community
Fair.
at all.
Yeah. But-
What is that fair?
The banks won't foreclose on the houses
banks-
and
the
just
bank-
move them out
the
there.
bank will
And the
sell it.
house is deteriorated to shit, no?
Exactly, like your mother's house is, and like this other house over here in 83rd it is too. But
Okay.
the problem is that we have squatters in there. So we need to lock them up. What I'm gonna do is your mom's house has already the plywood on the windows and the doors on the back. So basically I'm just gonna change the lock. But the other house over here, what they did was they opened the doors in the back and they broke the lock. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a piece of 2x4 cut to the length of the door, put and drop them there so that
That's pretty good.
okay, then break the glass and put the plywood and just put a new lock, because we need to get those people out of here. They're coming into the community. And
Okay, how are the people coming into the meeting?
walking,
And why we are not stopping them?
that's a very good question.
Okay, I need you to get them.
I sure will.
Okay. Okay, any other question about the manager report? I make a motion to approve it.
I say.
And probably second by Richard, all of those in favor? So moved. Okay, old business, you spoke about the playground already. So we go into H, resident comment. Sir, you have any question?
Yeah, just going through this, I saw some things, I'll deliberate on that. At first, I found out that my name I wasn't allowed to come into the swimming pool area, so I was wondering why it's that.
Okay. Anything, any resident that can't come into the pool area, if they're on the list, the security should say to them that they should contact the management, and you can talk to him after in reference to that. And he should supposed to probably tell you, if he can't tell you tonight, he will definitely contact you and advise.
Yeah, but she never, at least there should be a general overview of why the name
Because
was
of
there.
that.
Will be on the list.
One of the reasons is that if you are behind on your HO payments,
Okay.
that is one of the reasons that
Like how many months behind?
Over 3 months.
3 months.
Over
Okay.
3
If you're over 3 months, you will not be allowed to use the facility.
Okay.
Also, it has to do maybe with all violations that you have, but basically it's the HO payments.
Okay.
You do live on the east side, right?
Yes.
No, because another lady was here the other day and she lives on the west, and she wanted to know why she couldn't use the pool. So basically, the only reason that you probably will not be able to use the pool if you're 3 months behind on your HO payments, which I can find out for you if you call me tomorrow or email me. My email address is manager, you get it right? It's manager3, the number 3, at reliable.net. Send me an email with your full name, your address, and I will look into the system and I could tell you exactly why you're not being allowed to come into
No.
The security won't have that
to
information. They just happen that you know that.
Basically, what we do is, so you know, we don't say why, we just give them a copy with the people that are allowed to, the ones that are not allowed, and then if you're not in the list, then you're not. That's basically how it works.
Okay. I'm seeing in your budget here, if we look at not the asset side, but if we look at the income side.
Okay?
All right. There was a zero budget for miscellaneous, and all of a sudden there's a miscellaneous expense for 481,000.
Which,
Sorry.
miscellaneous income, that's income comes from keys that people buy, and basically keys that they use and they buy new ones for their lease. That's where that's where they.
Yeah, but I don't understand how it's, if your budget for, are you saying the money coming in, because this is your income statement? All right, income should be the money coming in.
Right.
And of course, expenses, the money going out. So I'm wondering how come you have a negative if people are buying key? Shouldn't
That's
money
not a
come in?
negative. That's not a negative.
It's in parentheses, so it's a negative. That's how they do accounting.
Well, the way when we have the way we.
What page you on?
He's on first page, second page.
Second page?
When you're doing
Below, is this below expense?
It's the line 6920, 0692.
920, in accounting, when you put something in parentheses, it's a negative.
I don't have the answer for that one, I know, but I can ask for you to find out why.
All right, every time you do an account statement and you put it in parentheses, it's a negative.
Okay.
All right, that's one. The two, you can note that now. The same thing too, with the current budget for late fee income.
Which number is that?
That's the second one, under assessment income.
What's the number?
Not 06340.
Late fee income.
Yeah. You see, that one is also in parentheses. So if we lose money there, was there a gain? Because like I said again, if something's in parentheses, it's a negative.
Okay, I will definitely have an answer for you.
All right. So the budget for management fee was 2,200. But somehow management fee or expense was at 3,850. Is there a reason why there's such disparity?
Well, the management fee that you have there is also includes the use of paper, printing, and all those stuff. The management fee would always be the same. What makes it different is the use of paper and mail out that we do and things like that.
It's
07010, right?
you're using your paper, it shouldn't be there.
Oh,
Your station, if you create an account for stationery, you shouldn't be putting that, adding that as, okay, because I spend excess paper, I'm putting that as part of my management fee.
No, that's not correct.
The management fee is $38.50.
That's it. That's supposed to be the.
Always, every month.
Yeah. So anything that you're talking about, like,
That mail out.
that's
But you're looking
supposed
at this,
to office expense.
this is what they've done through the 31st of
I
July.
understand that.
So there could have been, the check was written but wasn't processed, so it didn't come through, so they only spent so far as of 31st of July, $2,200 instead of $38.50 because they didn't cash the check. It goes on what's cleared to bank as of the 31st.
Yeah, because
Then it'll come in the next month, it'll be, that extra $1,600 will be in the next month's budget.
all right, let me explain.
Also, also, I'm sorry, but also the 3850
It's right there.
is part of the 3850 of actual, which is actual.
Mhm.
But we budgeted 3850 for the management. So
Your
the
manager,
management, the budget, the equal is supposed to be 0.
All right, so because the current budget for it is stating here that it's 2,200.
It's incorrect.
That's not right.
That's not correct.
if you look at page,
If you go back to last year's budget, we probably was 2,200 and then 30,000 for an on-site manager. We changed that and made it 3,850 a month, and no money for an on-site manager. The management company is paying for the on-site manager.
I've always wondered why we're even paying for that in the first instance. Once you give management fee, you're managing my property, I've given you the money. I shouldn't start paying you again extra. That's just like, don't be payments.
what do you mean by pay?
If I give you a contract to manage something or manage my premises,
This is
I'm paying you, right?
This is not his decision, this is our decision.
To,
Not anything to do with him.
it has to because it's
This is the
people's
board's
money, we need to account for it properly. Nobody's talking
Of course
about
we
it.
do.
If I pay you to manage my property, right, I have paid you that money. All right, just because from your own company you send somebody there to supervise that thing, you bill me again for sending somebody to what I already paid you. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
No, you're talking about two different kind of billings. You have your management company billing, which is so much per door, which if you look at page 5, you're gonna have, which is
I
3,850 every month.
don't have page 5 there.
Okay, it's 3,850, but if we do a mail out, that mail out costs money. And if it's not included in the deal that you made originally with the management company, then it's charged to the association. We charge for the mail out, for the stamp, for the envelope, for that, because that takes time to prepare it. When you're talking about 300 bucks. The contract to manage the community is $3,800 a month. That's just to manage it. But you want to do a mail out, we need to do a mail out, we need to send a violation, we need to do all of that. That is a second expense that the association incur based on the fact of the paperwork that needs to be done.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The following evening, the following board meeting is next month. I would like you, before that board meeting, to go through the budget from our Bella Park for this year
Okay.
and look at this.
You got it.
The reason I'm requesting this is because it looks like the last budget that we made is not reflecting clearly in this. Because there's no reason no 2,200 is supposed to be on this thing.
But that's, we changed after we made the budget and hired.
Well, we hired them, yeah, but we hired them October.
Yes,
October 1st they began working.
and when did we do the budget?
We did it in October,
Huh?
November. Remember, we did it after, but that's all right, we can clarify that by the week. I know I have a budget.
I don't have all that.
I have a budget, is that my,
Just go pull
and
up
my
last
booklet,
year's budget.
do y'all have a booklet
That's no
at
problem.
home?
I can just pull it out.
Yeah, I have a booklet, my booklet, I sent that, my check, it have a budget on it. So I can look at that, so we can look at that.
Let's go open that.
I know because you that, but you know, let's look at that and let's make sure that this reflecting that.
Okay, we'll do that.
I guess it's bringing a lot of confusion. The points that he expressing, they make sense because you've not seen what is happening here correctly.
Exactly.
Okay,
I understand his point.
So, and these other points that you're making, it's true, we have to pay for that, but that's supposed to be under office
Yeah, that's
expenses.
going to be under different things.
So we need to clarify that and definitely, in reference to that. Okay, besides financial, you have any other question?
No, I don't know what tree trimming has been done lately. The budget was for 583, and the current expense about 1,850. So what's tree trimming did we do this month?
No, we haven't done any, we already have a guy who's gonna give us a quote to trim some of the trees in the area.
If we haven't done,
We did one or two here, but we didn't go up, we haven't done a lot of the trees.
Not for the community, but you actually, in the whole community, or you just asked if we have done it?
no, because it's stated here, there's something recorded here, so that's what I'm following. Budget for tree trimming for the month is 583, if my eye is not failing me. However, your actual, which is an expense that you expended,
500,
1,000.
what line are you reading?
I'm reading line 09612.
612, tree trimming, we spend it, we have actually spent so far $1,850.
For the year.
Not for there, because this is a period, this period is
No,
701.
for the beginning of the year to now.
From January 1st until now.
Then this, the whole way you're doing this in this
Oh,
part,
what you talking about now?
tree trimming.
Yeah, but what you see,
The budget for it this month
Are you-
is 583.
okay, that's the budget for this month.
Yeah.
That's the budget.
And the actual, they said they've expended,
You see that?
is 1,850.
Yeah, you see
You
that?
do not do this because this is almost like something, well, I'm not saying it's deliberate, but if somebody doesn't know, we look deceptive because the date here says from a particular period to one period, which is supposed to be 1 month. So what we need to see here is all expense and all budget based on just 1 month. You can't be doing an accounting and accruing expense from previous months. Because right here it says for the period of 701 to 731.
Okay, let me look at the list. Tree trimming. On January, we spent $5,600. February, we spent $4,800. We didn't spend anything in March. We didn't spend anything in April. Nothing in May. Nothing in June. And $1,850 in July. We have spent this so far $12,207.
1,815 July.
July.
Okay, but that's his first. Did we do 1,850 at tree trim?
Yes. Well,
That's his question.
okay.
You follow him now?
I followed him and we did do a couple of tree trims.
I know. What was it? 1,850.
Well, if he wants me to get a copy.
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, that's what we paid.
For the two trees.
2 or 3 trees, I think it was, I don't remember. I
Okay.
wasn't here when we did the trimming.
Okay, but that, I guess that's what he's asking, did we did that, the trim?
Yes,
And the answer is yes.
yes, for July, we did the trimming, which it cost us $1,850.
Okay, the budget is based on, the budget amount is just based on the amount that is in the year. So let's say if we decided that for tree trimming was $6,000 for the year. So that breakdown in each month, which would be in budget. Our monthly one to 6,000 because we can say 6,000 is 1 year for 12 months. So they can break that down in 12 months. Now, yes, we might use $6,000 just in January, beginning of the year.
If you're doing it that way, you can't be doing it on one side and not doing it on the other side. If you're doing it on
Well,
the
you're
actual-
looking at the year to date. You're looking at the budget, the year to date. You don't have
So
the
what
other
was the
figures.
budget for this streaming from year to date? What's the amount? If I have to look at the budget so far.
We have used so
No, it's
far.
not what you have used, it's what you have budgeted from January to up to this point. What was the actual budget?
The total, can I give you how much, I gave you for per month?
Wait.
See, that's
For
what I'm talking about.
that, all you have to do, that's the
Just
reason I'm
take, it's
saying.
real easy, just take 500, what's the budget per month? 583,
Times
83, oops, times 12. The whole budget for the year was $7,000, and we spent 12 already.
yearly budget for the tree was $7,000.
Yes,
And we already have used all.
that's just what I said.
Then, we're not doing our accounting properly. We're not doing it the right way. The reason why you give us this paper, why we spend so much money, is for me to be able to see and analyze. Make it very, very simple. It's not this complex. The date here says from 7/17.
Excuse me, just a second.
Yeah.
I've been asking for many years, if you're gonna give something to the public or even to the board, they should give us a actual cash accounting for a meeting purposes. We know the bookkeepers, no bookkeepers and no accountant do accounting like that. But if we're gonna give out to laymen, no, an accounting like you gave out here, you give out here, no, you should give out an accounting on an actual cash basis, not on
What's it
a
called?
yearly accrual,
Accrual.
that's what accountants do. I've been saying this for years, but we've never done that. All accountants, no, are you an accountant?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Well then, if you're an accountant, you can read that and you can understand it. I can't understand it, no? And I know about accounting, but I'm not an accountant. No? I've been asking for laymen, if you spend $1, right, I spend $1, no? They have here, if you go to the first page, this is just an example, so you can understand what that is about. If you go to the first page, it has right here that we have where is it? We have total assets, $243,000. We don't have that. Take out the assessments receivable of 175, that doesn't count. This is not, this is an accrual basis.
This is a budget.
Accounting. No, it's done from the budget. No, if we don't have that much money, then if you go down and they take it all out down below, no, so it comes out to the same amount of money on each thing. This is what an accountant does. Has nothing to do with actual fact. In the bank, we have 86, 96, 106, 111, $128,000. That's how much we actually have, period. Not
That's if
240.
you do it on a cash basis.
If we do it on a cash basis, but no accountant does it. And you're gonna ask questions about that from now until doomsday, just like I did. And unless they give you cash accounting, you're not going to understand it.
No, what I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with you doing an accrual, saying this is what we budgeted. All right, then the date should reflect it. I shouldn't be seeing the date from July 1 to July 31st. Then everything here has to be based on amounts proposed for July and amount expended for the month of July. You shouldn't be piling things up.
We don't have an exact amount to spend a month because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. It's very, very simple. This is what we're going to. It's simple, let's play layman terms. We put 12,000 to spend on a tree, right? So that 12,000 is right? Then we can say we have 12 months in a year. That means, normal sense means that I'm expected to spend 1,000 every month. So in January, you put the budget for this tree was 1,000, right? And my expense,
You can do that.
then that's what you're supposed to do because the date that is here. That's how you read. That's how you read a report. I can't really read a report based on something that happened some months back because it's quite confusing. Because the date here says from 7/01. This thing here is under law, under accountability. This thing is based just
I agree.
in July.
But that's what we've been doing forever.
This is in July. So when I'm reading my perception, I shouldn't be going somewhere in March or what happened in the past. You should be focused on what happened in July. You can't be accruing one and not doing the other.
The only way we can do that is like Richard says, if we do a cash basic, which accounting is not done that way. We set a budget to spend X amount of dollars a year. That X amount of dollars is divided into 12 months. There's a month that we might go over what we have said, and there's another month that we might not. Because at the end, it should come out to the same. If we go over that set amount, then on the following years, then we need to consider that we need to make an increase on that particular line in order to meet next year's expenses. Because the way, that's why you see Like, I'm looking at the page that you don't have. I can tell you what we spend every month.
Okay. Now, we all need to be seeing that. That's what we need to see. It's our money. We need to know what's coming in, like Brighton said, what's coming in a month and what we're expensing. Then every month, then we should take a stop. Have we spent more or have we gained more? So that way you can begin to operate, okay, man, maybe we need to cut something.
But we
We can't be spending like this at the end of the year. There's no money. The next thing, because it's so easy to do, oh, let's increase association fee.
No,
That's the easiest thing to do.
no. You're,
Because we think people are blocking money from trade. Because
No.
where we're going right now, I have a feeling that that's what we're going to do. Oh, let's increase fee.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't work
The
out.
only time will tell us.
It doesn't work out.
Okay.
What you have in your hands,
All right.
it's part of the budget, which is public record. That's what you have in your hands.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to layman's term, maybe you don't understand it just like I don't understand it either. But I can tell you how much you spend every month, and I can tell you if you go over it or not, because that's how we create a budget for the following year.
There's nothing wrong with what you said. I need to see it on paper.
Okay,
Because I want that last thing
Why-
there before we go into, I don't know why we're doing, there's a telephone and internet
Yes.
online, and there's a telephone again. So what,
We have telephone lines on the guardhouses, which works on the different,
And we have a separate line that goes into the cameras.
right, and the cameras also over their own line.
we have some requests after the meeting, we can tell you what are the
He can
requests.
send me an email, he has my email,
And then
and once I have the email,
you can,
I would research it,
Yeah.
and I would answer him on an email, so we can have it on record.
you have any more questions?
the last question I have is, we're going to be embarking on another project, the playground. I hope this time the companies are really better, because our roads that was done, I think at the end of the day, with time now, we can tell that it was a shabby job.
Which, you mean the pavers?
The
I mean,
pavers.
when we did the asphalt,
Yes,
you consider that a shabby job?
considering what I'm looking at right now, does the road that I see now, the road that, when did we fix it? It's not for 5 years? Or 2 years back?
1 year.
Huh?
1 year, isn't it? 1 year. One and a
Well,
half year?
in 2014.
No, 2 years, okay. Oh, 3 years now.
And what is wrong with the roads at the moment?
Huh?
Any potholes anywhere that?
It's not a matter of, did we really have major potholes that was that bad? Because I'm looking at my street and some streets that I pass, when you pave the road, I still expect a particular standard. It shouldn't be back. It's like nothing has happened. It's back to the same way it was.
No.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
some,
Now you say no, but when somebody tells you, they actually tell you to wash your roof, if it's that you say, oh, let them go ahead and do it. But now you're willing to dispute this one.
You want to spend $500 million to redo the streets again?
My problem, I don't have, there's nothing wrong with fixing the road.
You try to go over it.
It's not on you, it's just vetting the company who does the road. Don't
I'll
take
be
me.
happy to take a look at the roads, and then we can put an assessment on each house. What would $500 million be if we divided by 385? You can calculate it. I mean,
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that.
Let's set up a meeting on next Wednesday.
right,
Next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. It's gonna be a special meeting, and this is gonna be only to deal with the gate.
with a gate.
Yes. And each one of you already got the agreement.
The agreement I should have it hopefully by the end of
You
this
just
week.
send it to us again, we pretty much the same thing.
It should be the same, I don't
But
think there
it's
should be.
something that will be signing, because the agreement just have to say, basically, is that east take care of this side, west take care of that side.
Right,
If something breaks on either side, each side have 7 days to get it repaired and taken care of. If you can't do it within 7 days, the other side will do it and will build it immediately. We
Right.
need to pay.
right.
It is simple. It's just an agreement to make sure also that whatever can be done, both sides can do it.
Right.
That's it. No, that.
So I should
no,
have that.
No. After that comes the detail, that's something.
That's the
rest.
When it comes to the detail, at the end, we're gonna have to have a meeting with the east and the west to agree on.
Well, you can read it. You let me know. I'm ready. Y'all read it, and let me know. If y'all-
That's something that's good with it.
When you all read the agreement, if there's that, any concern, let me know. Yeah, okay?
I don't have the agreement.
I can send you a
You
copy.
have a copy of what we discussed last, remember that last meeting we had with the West? You had agreement, pretty much, there's not much that changed in that. But
Or the
can-
one you gave?
Yeah,
I can send
Okay,
it.
then on that one, there are some things in there, only because of the last meeting, I have a problem.
okay.
Right, you let me know.
Agreed now.
Right now, the attorney for the West has it.
Mhm.
For them to review, but the idea is for to both agree on the agreement.
Yeah, but we need to make a decision who can do this.
Okay.
The interest.
If you want copies, I can send you guys copies for you to read, and
Okay.
you can review it, and then next time we can talk about it and discuss any issues that we have.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
Motion second by Richard, all of those in favor?
Aye.
8:46.